Hi there, this is Johanna Lee, and today I wanted to talk about 3 different ways you should be using your Google Contacts. So, for those that want a glimpse into my life, I got a new sister 6 months ago. So, it was their 6-month wedding anniversary. I know that's not really technically a thing, but it's about time that I put her in my Google Contacts. So, just kind of wanted to go through what Google Contacts are. So anytime you are in a Google application, you should be able to see your Google apps here. And so if you scroll down, you'll notice that you have contacts. And a lot of people that I used to work with didn't know that this existed, and it was really helpful because for me to let them know, because first of all, then I felt helpful, but then second of all, it's usually kind of acts as a directory if your company uses Google. So, if you don't know if your company has a directory and you use Google, I would definitely encourage you to look in Contacts first. So first of all, this is where Contacts is. So if you click on Contacts, it should bring you to this main page here. I'm in the trash section, but as you can see here, I haven't deleted any contacts because, yeah, hopefully that's a good sign. So anyway, I do have a label section that is for my family. And so my last name is Lee, so it's family with capital Lee. So I'm going to add my new sister-in-law here, and so if I click here, it'll bring me to her contact, and then this label here is kind of where you can add labels to your contacts. So you can click here and then click apply, and so now when I go back to this label, she should be here. And so the reason why that's important for doing those groupings, and I would have multiple clients at my old job, so I would have client contacts for one, my team, internal team for another, and so on and so forth, because what's really cool about this contacts view is if you're in your Gmail, what you can do is you can actually create a new message to say it's like family stuff. What I can do is I can send this to all of my family by just typing in my contact grouping for this. So I usually try to make them as creative as possible, like dream team, or like head in the clouds, or favorite client, or like goofy things like that, so that I could just type favorite client and it would kind of bring a smile to my face, and then I would have everyone there. Word to the wise, I will say that if you do it this way and you feel like the people you're sending to care about who's first and second, it will pull in alphabetical order. So maybe my mom is like, I really want to be first. She's not like that at all, but you will have to kind of like manually adjust these and like move the other people down so that they are first in the email string. So if you have clients like that they look to see like, oh, was I CC'd first or something like that, maybe this won't be the best option, but it is really easy to just like include people in this fashion. So email is a really great way to utilize contacts. Another really good way is through calendar. And I think that this is one of my favorite ways because I don't want to forget anyone on the team, but maybe if I wasn't, talking to a certain individual as frequent that week, but I'm like, hey, this client needs such and such, I need to get the team together, I'm going to want to make sure I'm including every single person in that listing. And so, what you can also do is it will show up in your to here. And then another great thing, if this is, your work option that you do have Google, what you can do with this is like pull up all of those schedules right away and find a time. And so that's really nice because sometimes, if you're doing a kickoff meeting or a planning meeting or something like that, clicking through all of those individual people is really difficult. But if you just have a team view and say Team A, then you'll be able to kind of pull up all of those calendars as quickly as possible. So that is probably my favorite aspect of the Google Contacts is the calendar feature, but equally important is the mail. And then the last thing I'll say, just because I kind of want to round it out with 3, is that you can export these. So if you go back to your contacts view, you can go to the export view and you can pick what contacts you want to pull down. So as you can see here, I do have my like iPhone. This was just as a backup, and you know, maybe if when I was switching phones over, I was afraid I was gonna lose all my contacts. And so you can import in the same way, the import and export. But what I will say is that if you export to a Google CSV, it's really good for like weddings or, you know, event planning where it's like, hey, you know, can you send me your side of the family? And so if you have this in place in your life where you're just creating these groups of contacts and you can export those people and kind of sift it through in Excel, I would definitely recommend it. So it's not as, you know, maybe day to day readily accessible as the email and the calendar, but it really is a good option just for special events or things where you need to kind of share a, you know, contact list with someone else in your life. So anyway, I love Google Calendar. Or Google Contacts. And so if you have any questions at all on how to use them, or if I went through anything too quickly, feel free to leave it in the comments. But I really hope this is helpful, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.